Greetings and welcome. Welcome once again to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. Yes, I am still Reverend Rodney, and up here with our guest, Bob Crosman, a practitioner from Metro CSL Metro. And however, we start as we always do with our opening song, One Love, the One Love.
Oh. There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the One Love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life, your journey and mine.
Yes, one love. That's who we are. This is what we do. So wonderful that you could be here with us. And we welcome you. We welcome you. We appreciate you being here with us. And we are on a mission. That's really what's going on. We are on a mission to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, play, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. And we envision a world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of learning and the application of these same spiritual principles. Also, let me get this here. Okay. Also, our community has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebration classes, workshops, and spiritual films. Also, our One Love Center practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. Also, we welcome everyone, whether you've been with us before or this is your first time. We recognize the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. And please know that we support you in being the best you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Thank you for being and being a place where love grows on the inside. And thank you for joining us, One Love Center, a place where love grows. And it does grow. It grows moment by moment, person by person, more importantly, consciousness by consciousness. Speaking of consciousness, we have a wonderful guest who's all about consciousness. And we've had him here before. It's like getting to be a wonderful 1 month affair, 1 month at a time affair. And here he is, Bob Crosman. He is a religious science practitioner, and he is here to lead us in our opening prayer, our evocation. And without further ado, take it away, Bob. And hi, welcome back.
God bless everyone on this broadcast. You are here by divine appointment. You are meant to hear the words of soothing and healing that come from all of us. My particular presence is nothing special. I am allowed this privilege of speaking the word that Reverend Rodney has set up for me to speak. And as he was speaking, I could feel the presence inside me, wanting to tell you, you are blessed. You are one in spirit. Oneness is the name of this center. And in love and peace, I know that the one power, the one grace, the one creator is here as all of us. As we join together in this message, we celebrate the play, the love, the creativeness of this spirit, this wonderful gift that was given to us. And Christianity expresses itself on this day as the beginning of the new life, the beginning of the raised life. And I celebrate that with you now as the spirit within us gives us its message of eternal life through the words of love, peace, grace, and all the things we know have been promised to us and have been delivered in this moment. And that's enough for now. And I return this blessing to Reverend Rodney.
And so it is, and now it is. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And what you have experienced is prayer, is affirmative prayer. It's prayer that we are trained to do, what we love to do, and this is what we do. Thinking, of course, it's positive affirmations with the use of consciousness. So we are prayer professionals, ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is the power, charged, and always ever ready for you, within you, for your immediate use. That's what we do. We get to remind you of that truth, and you can make a request for prayer support. You can send us an email at onelovecenter.org, or you can call 646-685-3344. And that you can also contact the World Ministry of Prayer at Centers for Spiritual Living. And you can contact them at oneprayer@csl.org, or phone them at 424-235-4326. And my request is that when you make your request, that you let us know when your prayer has been answered. Because we do prayer treatment for a period of 7 days. And if your prayer is answered in 1 day, so let us know so we don't have to keep praying on it. And if it hasn't been answered in 7 days, let us know. We'll continue to do that prayer. If you need more in-depth time with a practitioner, myself, Alida Perez, or Ellen Suazo, or any of our guests who are practitioners and ministers who you would like to get in touch with, let us know. And we're only too happy. And that, of course, includes Bob Crosman. So we are here for you. All right. So we are also here talking about being this whole year, we're talking about being open at the top. And this month, we're talking about the practice of becoming. Oh, every month following the next, is taking it to another level of greater understanding. So we're going to bring in Bob. Come back, Bob. Here he is. Okay. So, and so we are talking this month about living a practice of becoming. And today's topic is living with presence and deep awareness. So it's very interesting, with that topic, because to me, it really means that there are many people who are not uh, living with this presence, with the awareness, with this deep awareness of life. Sometimes it's just very easy to wake up and just go plod through the day, and it doesn't really seem like the highest or even a higher level of living. It's just like sustaining. Okay, another day, another dollar or 50 cents or whatever, So, anyway, so yeah, we're gonna jump into it. Anything you want to bring up before we jump in deeper about the practice of becoming?
No, this is an age-old discussion, because and becoming appears to be all we do. But when we lose the being and the becoming is all there is, that's when the ego gets hold of the whole thing and puts idols in the place of God. And the idols that we serve are misguidance. So they say the blind lead the blind into the ditch. And I believe that's what we're experiencing in the world today. Not enough being.
That's quite true. Yeah, I mean, and that's the glory of our holy days, our holidays, is to bring us to this greater awareness. My thing, I have to admit, and I'm sure I've said it before, is and thinking about today being Easter, more specifically in the Christian realm, Resurrection Day. To me, that's a great way to practice becoming. It's like wherever we came from, we becoming into a greater reality of who we are. Well, just for today. Well, no, not just for today. Every day can be a resurrection day. Yeah, I don't quite remember the quote, but it says something about we die daily. And if we die daily, that means in the morning we're resurrected. And prayerfully, hopefully, prayerfully, even stronger, prayerfully, we are not trying to commit the same things we did previously. I mean, which is almost impossible to do, because it really is impossible to recreate every second of the yesterday. So in some respects, we are born again. We are raised up from who we were into something new, becoming prayerfully a greater aspect of who we are, a greater realization, a greater awareness of who we are. So yeah, I agree. It's a practice. It doesn't happen. I mean, perhaps it does happen just organically or automatically without even thinking about it. However, I kind of doubt it. As you mentioned, we are creatures of choice, and ego pops in with its own idea of awareness or lack of awareness, because when the ego is empowered, a lot of times we are, like you said, blind, to reality, which is a great song. Blind to Reality. Author's name escapes me in a moment. But you can go to YouTube, put in Blind to Reality, and you really enjoy that song. It has a lot of different meanings. Anyway, we're going to go into our first quote, and here it is. We're living with presence and deep awareness. So I think that's really important concept for us to get. And our first quote, and I'll start off. It says, "There is one life, and that life is God. We must complete this statement by saying that life is my life now, because we must couple this life with ours in order to express it. Express it. We are not becoming this life. We are now in and of this life. Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, page 292. And that is pretty much, one of our mantras in this teaching, in this philosophy. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And it's just a statement of truth that is mirrored in so many other religions, so many other teachings. And we have to be thorough in it. So anyway, did you want to comment on that?
Always.
Yeah.
The chief thing that we need to realize is what we've already said, and that the being that we are is not personal. It's not a person. It's a universal awareness of peace, love, joy, and the playfulness of the mind of the Creator, which we are inheriting. As we give ourselves to it, it gives itself to us. But we have to be the opening. We have to realize that this is our life, given by a Creator, not by a world full of conflict, but by a peaceful Creator. And the beginning of the reign of Christ is the reign of peace.
Yes.
And so we celebrate this day as the end of the Old Testament and the beginning of the New. Love God, love one another. And like you said, that's just one religion. We honor them all because everyone is a being of that one God.
That's quite true. And also, there's a reflection question here. It says, when do I feel most aware that life is moving through me rather than something I must force or control? And yeah, thank you. It very much mirrors your statement, because we're looking from within, as opposed to the outside being reality. No, it's being most aware that reality of life is from within, and forcing or controlling is we don't get to force or control what's going on the inside. We don't have to. But what's going on the outside, then again, you talked about that ego, and force and control is a playground of the ego. Whether it wins or loses doesn't matter. It just likes to play there. And I just want to point out, Lita Perez said about today, she said, it's also about renewal. Yes, and that's really, I love that. Thank you, Lita. It's like with every breath is an opportunity for our renewal. Every the conscious activity going through our mind and our heart and our soul, of the spirit, is about renewal, making things new. Because is there a word for making things old? No, I don't think so. Yeah. So making everything is new, and that's the awareness that it takes to welcome it, not fight it, not try to control. I know for me, I was uncomfortable with change, because I couldn't control it, as a child or a young adult. It was like, oh my goodness, something new, and I barely could get a handle on what was now called old, So, and that was a lot of ego talk, that was, I didn't know, that becoming could be a good thing, So anyway, so thank you, Lita, for sharing that. And let's go on to the next quote. And anybody else, please feel free to add a comment or a question, a thought. And okay, Bob, why don't you jump on that one?
Okay. And I want to thank you for bringing Course in Miracles into our discussion here. My first reverend in CSL, Reverend Patrick, said, we always have Course in Miracles in our groups. And he didn't particularly care for it, but I was just immediately drawn to it, so that I consider Course in Miracles extension of what CSL gave me as an understanding of this being that we represent with our selves. You know, we represent, we give a message from our heart as to what we are. And this says what you see reflects your thinking, and your thinking but reflects the choice of what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Zen koan. You know, if I want to see love, I feel it. And so we begin with the being that we are. And the being that we are is divine, is light, is love. And so if we really feel deeply, like we begin with an evocation and we meditate and we open ourselves to the influence of the being that we are, and then we can give a message centered there, not in the world. Jesus said, be of good cheer, I've overcome the world. And that's what he meant. He meant that he begins in the beginning, where the center is, where what we say is coming from the heart. We make mistakes, but we also learn. We're also corrected in the becoming that we do. So how am I aware? Am I jumping ahead? How aware am I of the connection between my inner thoughts and my outer experiences through the day? And, as you were saying earlier, often I'm not aware of the connection. And this is where my learning takes place, in the play of the world, in the forum of the world. I try to stay centered and peaceful, but I have to admit I have a lot to learn.
Well, that's great, and that I love that saying. I have a lot to learn. Now, one of our practices to become aware of is releasing some of the things that we learn that we no longer need to keep in our mind or in our conscious awareness. It's like there are things that I have evolved. I no longer need to carry those kind of thoughts. And as I release thoughts and of course behaviors, that makes more room for something even greater to rush in. And then we realize we have a choice. I'm certainly not, I do not want to keep thinking the same old thoughts that are producing the same old things that are really no longer even serving me. Or even if it is serving me, it's like the same meal every day. It's like, well, wait a minute. Perhaps there's something a bit more nutritious for me. Perhaps, variety is the spice of life. Let me try some other spices. Let me liven up my taste buds, my taste for life, the choice of what I really would like to see. If I'm like if I'm on a train and the scenery is the same everywhere I go, or a bus or a car, and I'm like, it feels like I'm going in a circle. I can break that pattern. I can choose to see something different. So yeah, thank you. And it does take the awareness of knowing that what's going on with my inner thoughts, and if the outer is not looking like the inner, it takes more attention. Yeah, it takes more awareness and acceptance. It's like, okay, I accept it. That's not what I want it to look like. I accept that. What do I want? Then we go back within. And okay, well, what would I really choose to see and be? Because really, I gotta be it before I see it. But on the outside, I can see it on the inside. But as I do, I'm becoming it. As I'm becoming it on the inside, it shows up on the outside. Yeah. So let's go into another quote. And this says, the Spirit is always flowing into us and ever expressing itself through us. This self-expression of God is also the self-expression of humans, for the two are one. That's Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind, page 412 to 413. And I'll start the discussion on this one. I just feel a sense of relief. uh, this is like the cure for loneliness. You know, it's like I'm never alone. Spirit is always flowing into me, always expressing itself through me as me. And when I see another, I am seeing the presence of the divine, and I am seeing me as well. We are reflections of another, so much so that, yeah, God and I are one. And since that's the truth for myself, it's the truth for everyone. Well, then when I see another, I know that we together are one. And to me, there's no way I can feel lonely with that awareness. So, okay, yeah. Anything you want to comment on about that?
No, you touch it, because that's really what it is to be alive in this world, is to get connected.
Yeah.
Get
And
connected. Know
yeah, go
where.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm reminded of the story of Jesus at the well, where the Samaritan woman comes to him, and he said, "Well, if you'd asked me, I would have drawn the water of eternal life for you," which means he would have spoken love to her.
Mhm.
He did, and she was greatly impressed by that. But all of us can go to where the still water is within our hearts.
Yeah.
And that's what his teaching is, that we can draw that water at any time and be refreshed. That really is what the whole practice of science of mind is about, that humans are what they're looking for.
Mhm.
Already are what we're looking for, and we don't necessarily see it, and so we chase idols like money and fame and fortune and pleasure of all kinds and trips and sightseeing and all the things that are out there, while all the while you're sitting next to the still water you can take a drink at any time.
That's a great point. And in this reflection is like, in what moments do I feel most connected to something greater expressing through me? Well, if I'm busy trying to chase everything outside of me, the idols and all that stuff, I'm not going to feel that connection very, very strongly. I'll put it that way. It's interesting because that connection is that fuel that fuels me into those moments of whatever I'm doing, that love, the passion, the compassion, the joy of becoming, of who I am in that moment. Not that I have to do anything outside of that in order for me to become who I am. No, the becoming is in the beginning. And that connection is is that energy that it can be it can feel confusing at times. But now I'm all feeling empowered and I'm ready to go and do and get lost in the outer and thinking that that's what it's all about. And really it's always about the inner, that inner expression. Yes, it expresses outwardly, but not to get caught up in the outer. That's that. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. You were speaking about a feast, a more nourishing meal. So here's our Easter feast, to sit in the stillness and be fed.
Mhm.
Why would you get up and go looking for food when everything's provided right at the table you're at?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. And realizing, yeah, what is it that I really truly need in life is already within me. And because we are made, as we started in the beginning, whole, perfect, and complete, as an individualized expression of the Creator. If that's the case, then there's nothing on the outside that I need to get in order to make me whole, because I already am. Yeah.
Yep. And then get sent out by the Spirit to nourish others, to bring the message from the banquet to those that are hungry, the ones that need the substance. And so we bring the one love to the one being, and it's a delightful pursuit, and it's not even a pursuit, it's a finding, isn't it?
It is. It's the revealing of truth. It reminds me of one of my favorite fun movies. One of them. Um, what's it called? Well, the Peter Pan, but Hook with um, oh gosh, what's his name? The comic. Uh, mhm. Anyway, it'll come to me. But anyway, he's at the
We'll all look it up.
yeah. Well, Dustin Hoffman was Hook. He was the bad captain with the hook, and why is it just? I had his name. I should have said it earlier. But anyway, Robin Williams is at the table with all his pals for the feast, and they're sitting there, and everybody's enjoying all this food, and he's sitting there, doesn't see anything. He's like, "What? What's going on?" And he's hungry too, except he doesn't believe. He's not of the faith. And they're just having a good old time. So, "Oh, Peter, you got to believe, and his awareness elevated in that time. Maybe it was hunger, but his conscious awareness of what was possible for him from within, it had to happen because they were having a good time. The outer was doing what it does. He had to get with the inner and get with the truth about, what, my belief, my faith is strong to carry me through and for me to enjoy, to engage in what is good for me. And that's what happened. So I just love that. There's a lot of different analogies we can make of that. However, that always comes to mind for me. And so let's do the next one. And this is, yours. You can handle that one.
The ability to control your experiences and have them result in happiness, prosperity, and success lies in your own mind. And the way. Did I read the wrong one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're on number 5. Look, on the screen. Okay.
Oh, I just read 5. 4, was it? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Number 4, there is no one to be healed in the truth. And we must think in the truth if we expect to be healed. Wow. That's science of mind.
Yeah.
And so if I was to just tune in to what the heart is saying, there's no one to be healed in the truth because we are the truth. We are the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus said that I do, you'll do, and greater than these. Because the I is the Father, or I go to the Father. Right? It's been misunderstood, I think, by Christianity. But that's the truth. And we don't need to be healed in the truth. We need to be healed in the falsehood of what we believe, like the meal that the captain couldn't see, because he was too busy being a bad guy to see what was good right in front of him.
Well, yeah, that's how it ended. He got to experience love at the end. A little too late, but because then the crocodile ate him. But but yeah. So let's see. Oops, no, not that one. Wrong way. Okay. It says the ability to control your experiences, have them result in happiness, prosperity, and success lies in your own mind and the way you use it. Ernest Holmes seminar lectures. And once again, how am I being? How my practice of becoming is, under my control, under my command. The ability to control, happens as based on what I think, what I believe, and how I use that truth. Yeah. Any comment on that?
I'm thinking, as a practitioner, I've done some work in prayer, and the ability to control your experiences is not really so much the person or the ego, because the ego is a distortion of what's right in front of us. And, when you want to see happy circumstances, you get happy about who you are in general. And, the things that appear to be negative around us, like scarcity is not really real, but you've got to work with a practitioner or a teacher that shows you how your abundance is already manifest. And then you can begin to see where you're happy with what's going on, because God is never giving us a bad time. He's always giving us a good time, but we fail to see it when we pray wrongly, and I think Jesus said something like that as well, but that's basic science of mind. What you're seeing is not necessarily what you think you're seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I heard something, and it was about not being deceived by your own eyes, because a lot of times our interpretation of what we see in the outer is not the reality. So sometimes it's very easy to see something and then filter it through our experiences, and not always the best experiences. And so therefore it's like the story of like two kids walking down the road, country road, and what looks like down the road looks like a snake, and the boy, he's like, oh my God, snake, and he runs away, and the girl gets closer. She says, oh no, it's not, it's a stick, and in his experience it looked like a snake, and he was afraid of snakes, and she wasn't afraid of snakes, but it wasn't a snake anyway, it was a stick. So we get to control our experiences. It starts in the mind, that perception, whatever filters that we have, that determines who we are becoming in that moment, and in every moment. So we have to focus on how we use our mind, and a lot of times it just takes another moment and maybe another moment before, so we can properly discern what we're seeing on the outside. And in reality, what am I entertaining on the inside? If I'm expecting something to be fearful about, well, it's going to show up. It may not be real, but it's going to show up like real, and I'll be coming afraid, fearful, doubtful, So yeah, again, we, as this quote says, we have the ability to use that ability to go within and to practice. What would I really want to experience? What would I really want to become? Yeah. So, all right.
One of the most powerful things that you can
What's
do
that?
right now is that you chose to be here in this human experience courageously into this most miraculous and chaotic planet.
Are you playing that? I don't know where it's coming from.
Suffer. You're here to remember the soul that you are,
I have no idea what it is.
Inside, and all the emotion and thought that you will feel and think in between the beginning
This is interesting.
and the end of this one precious life. It is well with your soul.
When I'm down and out in the water hold, in still
I don't know what it is.
When sorrow calls, when chaos on my mind starts to settle in, and limits in beliefs begin to startle me, I just close my eyes and remember, hey, these too shall pass. I know storms don't last always, and it's well with my soul. Amen.
I'm totally at a loss.
It's well with my soul. It is well with the soul. Yeah. Use you, abuse me, oh media. Where do we go with this hysteria? Did we become the news victims of? Loud as all the external noise. Come back home, it's too loud out there. Remember, oh child, that it is well with your soul. Yeah, coming, it's well with your soul. Yeah, coming, it's well with my soul.
Well, folks.
It's well with my soul. My soul. Coming.
It's not a bad song, just don't know where it came from. Can't say I've experienced that before.
To be here, courageously. It is well with your soul.
It's well with your soul. It's well with your soul. It's well with your soul.
You are not here to suffer. You're here to remember.
Okay, well, thank you wherever that came from for a music interlude.
Yeah. Could have been worse.
Oh yeah, that wasn't bad. That was kind of nice wherever it was.
Yeah.
We'll find out later. All right. So anyway, let's get back on track and let's see. Okay, why don't you jump on that one?
Number 6.
Oh, mindfulness.
Yeah. Is a kind of energy that we generate when we bring our mind back to our body and get in touch with what is going on in the present moment within and around us. We become aware of our breathing and come home to our body, fully present for ourselves and whatever we are doing. That's Thich Nhat Hanh, who is one of my favorite Buddhist practitioners, a lovely man, the art of mindful living. Mm-hmm. And, as far as that pertains to the science of mind, when he speaks of body, he's speaking of the presence of life in the body. He's not speaking of the body per se. He's speaking of the presence of life in the body. And as I believe we said earlier, we are God's life expressing as bodies. I think we made that point earlier on. And so that would be something that was very natural to do as someone not trained in science of mind, but just, get in touch with the life in your body and stop thinking, if it's possible at that moment. And then we become mindful that we're never out of the moment of life. Mm-hmm. The moment of life is eternally present, and we don't have to do anything to be in it. In fact, a lot of us say that there is no time in truth. There's only an eternal now that appears to be becoming something else. back to our being, our original oneness with God. And yeah, I would be interested to hear what you are saying.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You did cover a lot. Funny thing about time, in God, the creator that has created everything out of itself, we can be pretty sure there is no time. God doesn't operate by our calendar system, by our days or weeks or months or years. I mean, that eternal now, my friend Vincent LeBron calls it that holy moment. Um, it's eternal, that holy moment. We don't have to separate it and compartmentalize it, think it, structure it, control it. No, that's not that mindfulness. Mindfulness is just being with what is, and even what is not. It just is. So I love that. Thank you so much for reminding us that body doesn't always mean physical body. It means our presence, our present awareness of life, of existence. And a lot of times it's not an easy concept because we're surrounded by the physical and treat the physical as though that's the real thing. And remembering that whatever appears to be physical started in the mind anyway. And it definitely is a practice of becoming aware, of becoming mindful. Yeah. So yeah, let's see if we have anything else. And aside from that, is there anything else that you wanted to bring up? We have another one. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And here it is. Oh, wait, we did that. Okay. Okay, here we are. Okay. The very thing you seek keeps you from the awareness you already have. Byron Katie. And I can only imagine and I do imagine what this world would be like if everybody would just stop for a moment and see that they already have what they believe they're looking for. There would be no need for war, or conflict. Yeah, it's like, I think bars would be empty, empty bar stools, people looking for love in all the wrong places. Anyway, what comments do you have about that?
It's just one more way of saying what we've been saying. The thing you seek is what you already are. Yeah. There's a quote from Ramana Maharshi, who was a non-dualism teacher. And he said that the greatest mystery is that ourselves being reality are in search of reality.
Yeah.
And the Course in Miracles says that, when you no longer want perception, it will disappear because you presence and mind of God. And what you're perceiving is kind of a movie. You're enjoying a play, like you called it a play earlier, a love play, a play where we wake up. Mm-hmm. But once you're awake, there's no need for the play anymore. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. They say that God was with man, Adam, in heaven, and they were together, and then the man fell asleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or became unconscious, and that's not a possible state. actually. Unconsciousness is not a possible state, not for God, but in our belief, we entered into a creation, this universe of light and flow, but maybe I'm going a little bit too far.
No, you're fine.
To come right back. Yeah. I mean, it is a mystery and it is a love play from the way I see it. And I just wish everybody love on this special day.
And that's, basically it's being aware of the love that we already have. I mean, I really believe, more importantly, that's our job, is to show up as love. And that's what people get to see. And the most important thing is that they get to see that it's already within them. It's what they already have. We're just being reminders. And I don't mean just you and I mean everybody everywhere gets to mirror the love that is already, gets to show the love that they are, and in that respect become a reflection for everybody else to see the love that they are. And it takes practice because we're not taught that. We're not taught to practice that.
The cool thing is, though, that once you learn it, that's all you want to do.
Yeah.
Because we are messengers by our nature. We bring the message of the Spirit. And they say that because man fell asleep, he needs a wake-up call. And love is the gentle wake-up call. Love is the way, the peace.
And the harmony.
Thank you for the opportunity to share this message. Isn't it wonderful?
All right. So we have one more quote, I believe. Okay. Do you have that one?
Yeah. Do you want to read? You want me to read?
Yes, please.
But the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn, which shines brighter and brighter until full day. The way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know what they stumble over. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Yeah, the Old Testament is very beautiful, but it is a way of division, because the Old Testament and the prophets made the dark side real. They made the crucifixion possible. But in the Course in Miracles and the time of the atonement, which happened at the resurrection, Christians don't really understand what they say when Jesus didn't die. He proved that there's no sin. And in that way, he expiates sin. Not by dying, there is no death.
Right.
So the Old Testament and the prophets were waiting for the time of the Christ where the atonement would be completed. And he finished it on this day, or 2 days earlier, if we're going to make time real. And now we live in the period of the science of mind, where we realize that there's nothing to seek because it's already here. And we just get to share it. It's a whole different spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, well, what a way to go. It's like, yeah, let me show you the way, with forgiveness and understanding and graciousness and, being humble and be vigilant with love, regardless of what shows up.
That came up earlier. We have to learn this. And this is the vital learning that we do here at One Love Center. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes. All right. So we're going to move to the next part. And this is for everybody, and we don't really have to engage this. But but ask yourself this question: what aspects of myself am I still hiding? And what might be revealed if I offer them humbly to love? It's like surrender to love. Mm. So, I mean, if you want to add something, Bob, you can. We're going to also move to the affirmations. But anything you want to mention about that?
Well, that contemplative question is what I ask myself. What do I need to learn? What's
Yeah.
God's vision for my
Mhm.
participation? Because, like, if I'm going to learn what humility is, which is one of the things God loves the best about his creation, is our ability to respond to that vital call, and to give a message commensurate with God's word. In the Old Testament, it speaks of a fragrance, like the fragrance in the temple, and it's more like that. It's more like an alluring seeking and finding, beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And essential to our becoming. And remember, folks, when we're talking about becoming, we really are talking about the higher sense of self, the higher conscious awareness of who we are, whose we are, however you like to put it. And to offer something humbly to love is a recognition of that true nature of whatever it is. It's like humbly really means just recognize the truth and honor the truth. That really is to be humble, to recognize the gift of the Creator, and say, hey, yes, I was made from love, and this is a particular aspect that, oh my gosh, I was hiding, and I couldn't fully be who I am created to be if I keep trying to hide that, So I humbly recognize, in my respect, that I love to communicate. I have a voice for it, and I don't get to hide it anymore, and I do it lovingly, and it returns with love. Because look, I'm sitting here with Bob Crosman, a wonderful agent of love. So, we get to express this and share this with everyone. And I just want to take a quick look at the comment. We have Reverend Abena, and she says, every experience I have daily reveals who and what I am. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. She's another one of our participants, our guests. Every experience I have daily reveals who and what I am. Know the truth. Thank you, Abena. All right. Thanks for being with us. Yeah. And we'll be having her back, hopefully relatively very soon. So we're going to move into our affirmations. And now these affirmations are in English and Spanish. We're just going to do the English part, but the Spanish is there for those who would like to see it and learn it and use it. And here we go. So as we usually do, we invite each one to take a breath before reciting the affirmation. We do that twice for each one. All right. So invite each one to take a breath and give a breath. It is so that I remember my oneness with life, knowing I am never separate from the infinite presence. Let's do that again. I invite you to take in and share the breath. It is so that I remember my oneness with life, knowing I am never separate from the infinite presence. And Bob?
I'm reminded of when Jesus appeared in the locked room, and the first thing he did was breathe on the disciples. It's that breath of life, and the mention of the womb of life is absolutely beautiful. So in the sense of that spirit, It is so that I live and navigate within the womb of life itself. It is so that I live and navigate within the womb of life itself.
Yes. Thank you. And let's take a breath. It is so that even in the moments of challenge, I am divinely guided in becoming more fully who I already am. Let's take a breath and do that again. It is so that even in the moments of challenge, I am divinely guided in becoming more fully who I already am. This is the truth, and so it is, and now it is. Y ahora lo es. And now it is. Yes. So at this point, I'm going to bring Bob back in just a moment. And it will be up to me to do a grounding treatment, focusing on this conversation, on this talk. And so I invite each one to join in this. My dear friend Ray says, united state of consciousness, this conscious awareness of truth, aware that there's only one power, one life. That is the life of the Creator that lives its life in, through, and as all of its creations everywhere, not just humans, all forms of life. Even that which doesn't even seem like life. Wherever there are atoms and molecules, that's life itself, no matter what the form. And so I am knowing that in this form, I am inviting each one to join me in knowing this truth for themselves and about each and every one, because however many of us there are, or there is only one. And each one gets to become a distinct, infinite, individualized aspect of the one, the Creator that has created everything out of itself. And so how wonderful it is to know that I am not alone, that no one is alone, that each one is an intricate part of the one. And how wonderful it is to be that love, to be the love expressing in fully becoming who we have been intended to be. A divine design bearing fruit, full and ripe. And I know that as each one of us gets to become more fully who we already have been chosen to be, leaving behind the old, moving into a renewed state for the renewed moment and each moment to follow, that there is indeed a resurrection of awareness of truth for who each and every one of us is from the beginning, in the beginning. In the Word was the Word, and each one of us is a letter of the Word, a letter of the law that says, yes, I am that which I am. And it shows up in all of our affairs, in all of the affairs of health and wealth, of the well-being, of relationships, knowing that there's only one. All that is necessary and needed and desired to express our becoming is available. Training, practicing, mindfulness, awareness, and all that is necessary to experience this becoming. Practice this daily living, this daily being of who each and every one of us is. how grateful I am to be mindful to return to each present moment, each holy, divine moment. Not yesterday's moment, not trying to live in some future moment. It's only now, right now. And I know that this word is already allowing and guiding and resting in the minds of all who hear and feel this truth. And this is by law that knows what to do and how to do it, and creating opportunities for each one to rest, to be at peace and in harmony with this divine knowingness about who I am becoming. So I speak this word for each and all, knowing that there is greater good being revealed in each moment, right here, right now. And I give thanks for it. And I release this word, knowing that, the Lord's got it. That's the job of the law, of the Lord, or however you want to put it. And I know I give thanks for being open to receive the word. And I know this for each and every one, that the voice of God is ever present and always speaking. And each one gets to hear and see from within. And I know this is the truth right here, right now. And I affirm it by saying, and so it is, and now it is. And thank you, each and every one, for joining me in that high conscious awareness of truth. And as I mentioned before, that we are prayer professionals. We love to pray. And we are ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is the power, charged and always ready within you for your immediate use. Please feel free to make a prayer request. You can contact us leave an email at onelovecenter.org, or you can call us at 646-685-3344, or you can also use the World Ministry of Prayer, and that is oneprayer@csl.org, or call them at 424-235-4326. All your prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence, and use us. That's what we're here for. And also, we have an opportunity for another way that the spirit of the divine can be used. And we are grateful for all that has been given for us to continue meeting like this, and all the ways that we have met throughout all of the years. So we are grateful for your donations, your gift, your time. And you can do it through our One Love CSL.org. You can use PayPal, onelovecenter.org, or the Cash Me app at $1LoveCSL. And so we have affirmation of abundance. And as Ellen always reminds us, we can put a hand over our heart, and I say, just feel that vibration, that love vibration, that vibration of life itself in this physical form. And we have the affirmation of abundance. And it says, money as one of the many gifts of spirit is good. As I share my tithes and my offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gift, more money, and more good. And I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works these gifts do in our center and in our world. And so it is, and now it is. And we thank you so much for that. We'll have some announcements. First and foremost, if it wasn't apparent today, I'm doing a really great job. However, we could use some tech support. We're requesting a member for technical assistance in managing our broadcasts. And you can contact us again, 646-685-3344, or email us to be of service. If you know anybody who would like something to do with their early Sunday afternoon, depending on what part of the country they're in or part of the world they're in, let us know. Let them know and let us know. Also, hold on. We got to go this way. Yes, we have the Book of the Month by Mark Nepo, The Endless Practice, Becoming Who You Were Born to Be. As you can tell, we spoke passages, inferences from that book. One of the finest spiritual guides of our time, Mark Nepo. A point of experience is not to escape life, but to live it. Absolutely. That's how we get through life challenges. We go and grow through them. All right. And Science of Mind magazine. Okay. The reading for today, the affirmation for today is I am a powerful and valuable light of the world by Jeffron Seeley. He's doing a whole month. So when you get to Science of Mind magazine, and here's how you can get it. We will subscribe for you as a attendee of One Love. You can get 6 months free subscription. So again, go to our website, onelovecenter.org, list, and we will set you up with a 6-month free subscription. And wonderful information. There are stories, there are messages, there daily meditation. There's just so much, and it's really helpful on this spiritual path. Also, what's next? You might wonder. Well, let me get that up. It is the Centers for Spiritual Living Convention happening next week. Yes, and where is that? Here it is. Let's see. Yeah, April 7th to the 10th. That's where I'll be. So you can join us. It's actually also going to be broadcast virtually. And I don't know about early registration, but you can most certainly look into it. Go to csl.org and get all of this information. All right. We're going to have a great time, as it says, together, enjoy, honoring, connecting, and growing. And it's always it's great because you get to see people who you may have heard about or read about, and they'll be there and see how many more people are in this philosophy, in this teaching. And just know that there are so many more who will not be there, but it just gives you an idea of like, oh, yes, I really am not alone with this. I'm not the only one who thinks like this, who's looking to change my thinking, change my life. So it's just really wonderful. Okay, next is, yes, the Convention of the Americas. This is happening in July in Chapala, Mexico. I've been there twice. I'm going again this summer, and it's a wonderful time. It's a time of celebration. It's a time of meditation. Just a lot. There's so much that I could say about it. Again, go to our website, csl.org, and look for events, Convention of the Americas. It's a beautiful place to be by Lake Chapala, and it's a wonderful, safe, enjoyable place. Food is fantastic. People are great. Oh, you're going to love it. So definitely you want to avail yourself of the opportunity. Also, we have another conference. Where is it? I don't see it. No, we did that. Okay, well, it is here somewhere. It's called Celebrating Our Soul. It's by the people of African descent New Thought Group. All are welcome. And what I'll do is I'll put up a very quick video. Here it is.
The people of African descent New Thought Group presents Celebrating Our Soul, Claiming Our Sacred Power at Unity Village from August 13th through 16th, 2026. This exclusive event hosts Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith of Agape International Spiritual Center, Brother Dr. Ishmael Tete from the Etherian Mission in Ghana, meditation leader and teacher, professional sacred space holder, Reverend Paulette Pipe, and more. The People of African Descent New Thought Group once again brings you top quality masterclass presenters like Reverend Deborah Johnson, Master Practitioner Aisha Mason, Reverend Vernell Nelson, Jeffrey Noble, and more. Not only do we have empowering workshops, but the grounds and ambience are sublime. Yes, it is very hot in August in Missouri, but the best part is getting to enjoy the best that nature has to offer. You, your kids, and or your friends can enjoy the Unity Village Nature Trail, the short waterfall, the amazing labyrinth, or you can join the group that is going to the one and only Negro League Baseball Museum and the Jazz Museum. Even if you don't go to the cultural immersion and field day, you can stay on the grounds and enjoy pampering yourself with energy workers offerings, such as a massage or reflexology, Reiki, or pranic crystal healing. That's right, pamper yourself. The best price is now during early registration through March 31st. Don't delay. Register today at padntg.org. Be there.
Okay, and early registration is still open until the middle of this month, April 15th. All right. So we thank you for sharing with us today, and we're going to bring Bob back. And next week, we're talking about the path of vulnerability. That is a path you will want to walk. Well, maybe not. However, it is necessary. That's a scary word for a lot of folk. Vulnerability. Oh my God. However, yes. Oh my God will get you through. Yeah. So, any final words before our final prayer?
I am so pleased to be in the presence of this mind today, this one mind, this one love, and all of those that are hearing this broadcast. I extend that to you infinitely.
Thank you so much. So let's just go within. Well, we're already within. We're always within. Well, we'll use a conscious awareness of the upper room, and know that that's where we are. That's where we are becoming the expression from the one, the upper room. And so knowing that, yes, the I am is present everywhere. I am knowing that as each of us moves throughout this day, throughout this week, mindfully practicing the art of becoming, the art of surrender, the art of love, taking in joy and peace and harmony and all of the good that propels us from the inside, working through and in the outside, not allowing the outside to control who we are. Knowing that truth is that who we are is strong enough, vital enough, and mindful enough on its own. I pass my word to Bob. We can close this out.
Yes, I know. Along with my brother Rodney, who appears to be separate, is never separate in spirit. That in this revelation, we are one. We are life.
Yes.
And the light has come. And we now celebrate that light eternally with awareness, with dedication, with communication, with affirmation, in all the ways that we're inspired by this one mind to participate in this one mysterious, beautiful rising of the sun, the grand rising promised from the past that we know doesn't even exist. We are truly here now. And I pass back to my friend.
Oh, and this is the truth, whole, perfect, and complete, operating in, through, and as our lives. The full expression of being open at the top to the greater good as it reveals itself. And so I let it be the good that it is, right here, right now. And I affirm it by saying, and so it is, and now it is.
Now,
All right. So we have a closing song, and let's do it.
Oh. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the one love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. Whoa. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah. Through our prayer and meditation, joyous sacred celebration, we give thanks for all we are. Every soul has come so far. Love in action, service true. The divine spirit that is you. We're awakening, can't you see? Living love and living free. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to this sacred space where we honor every face. The splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do. Learning, growing hand in hand. Together we will understand. Prosperous, giving, hearts set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. Oh, one love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. One love, where love grows all around. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome home to one love. Yeah. Welcome home to one love. Where love grows. Where love grows. Where love grows.
Yes, one love. Peace and blessings. Happy becoming. Happy resurrection to becoming even greater than you've been in the previous moment.
yeah, the light has
See you next week.